Aussies in financial stress skyrockets. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's check out this article from Yahoo Finance about financial stress. Now it's no surprise. Groceries, cost of living, it's all getting very, very expensive. I went out and bought a block of chocolate the other day. And, we do not eat chocolate that often. It's been a long time since we've bought, like a block of chocolate. When did they get tiny? They're like 150 grams, shrunk down. It's like a bar of chocolate has now become a block of chocolate. We're getting cost of living going up, but we're also getting shrinkflation. So everything's costing more and you're getting less for your money. I guess I should eat chocolate more often, not every once in a blue moon. So let's check out this here, because I'm not surprised that people are encountering financial stress because, well, the good times of the free money during the pandemic lockdowns, they're all over now. Reality's starting to hit. So more Aussies are in financial stress, the highest number since the pandemic. So the number of Aussies under financial stress is at a 3-year high as households struggle with the rising cost of living and interest rate hikes. Now, while they're saying a 3-year high, we need to look at what it is according to the median, the average, the long-term trend. Are we significantly higher than that, or are we just at that level? Because a lot of people over the last few years have had it probably better than they've ever had it before. This is what happens when the government just hands out money. A new NAB survey of 2,000 Aussies found 40% of people were experiencing some form of financial difficulty. Okay, that's a big number, 40%. This is the highest number since the start of the pandemic, the major banks said. And it includes those struggling with paying bills, covering rent or mortgage payments, paying for food and basic necessities, and having money for emergencies. Well, okay, here's the thing. You're always going to have 5% of the population that can't even raise any money for anything. They're pretty much destitute. And that's for a variety of reasons, but that's never going to change. Now, they're compiling a whole lot of people together here to get that 40%. So is it making it sound more concerning than it otherwise would? I think there was that article I got really angry about yesterday about the woman who had 7 kids. I watched the project. Someone sent it to me. I watched the project today. First time in my life. Could have gone without watching it. But one thing that was quite interesting, they were saying there's 220,000 people that they were combining those in housing stress, where just happen to spend 30% of their income on their housing costs, with those who are homeless, to make the number look much worse. So you've got one thing where people are, maybe they're just saving up to get a house, or this 30% number is out of date now with people who are homeless. These are completely different qualities of life that they're all compiling in together. It's just done to inflate the numbers and to create a narrative. That's what, well, I guess the project is just like a current affair, isn't it? It feels like it, just to create a narrative. So, we know most of our customers are in good shape. But for some Australians, financial difficulty may be an entirely new experience as rising costs of living places increasing pressure on their personal finances. NAB executive Mark Bayliss said, "Well, we've only had good times for the last 30 years, or 28 years. How many people don't even remember the last recession? I was a kid when we had the last recession. And, well, because my family ran a construction business, we felt the recession." One in 5, 21%, said they didn't have enough money for emergencies. 16% were unable to cover food or basics, and 14% couldn't pay a bill. Despite rising interest rates, only 5% of Aussies said they were unable to meet their mortgage repayments. Now, this is interesting. So 1 in 5 don't have enough money for emergencies. Is that... I would hazard a guess that we've had it so good for so long. I mean, there are people out there that would quit a job without even having another job lined up, because it would be so easy to get a job, another one. It's just how it was here. It's been crazy. If you've got the skills, if you've got the experience, you could just walk out of a job and pretty much walk into a new one. So I'd say a lot of Aussies don't. That's why we don't have emergency funds. We've had it too good for too long. 16% are unable to cover food or basics. That could be, well, food has gotten much more expensive and everyday purchases have gone up. That could be a budgeting issue, not adjusting your expectations with reality. You may need to make some sacrifices, not buy the luxurious goods, reduce the quality or type of food that you're eating, not buy the brand stuff. Buy that icky home brand or black and gold stuff that the povs eat, because that's you now. That's, and this is coming from someone who lives off Aldi food, and is drinking instant Aldi coffee without milk. So that's something I would hazard a guess is to do with personal financial literacy, budgeting and planning. Same thing with emergencies. 14% who couldn't pay a bill. Same thing. You're going to have some who are destitute, that goes without saying, and some people who are in a complete mess. But only 5% are unable to meet their mortgage repayments. And the mortgage is much more expensive than a lot of these other costs. So just bear that in mind. Because probably some of the people who are struggling here, maybe they don't even have a mortgage. Young Aussies were facing the most financial stress, with more than half, 57%, of those aged 18 to 25 having experienced financial difficulties. Yeah, but, has that changed from the past? You make stupid decisions when you're 18 to 29 years old. You piss away money, you borrow money, you learn some life lessons. Is that what we're seeing here? Is that just what it is? Or is this something we have to be concerned about and the whole economy is collapsing? So we kind of need to look at it both sides. Aussies living in rural and regional areas, as well as low-income earners, were also under increased pressure. Financial hardship can happen at any time, and is often the result of sickness, job loss, or overcommitment, the report noted. Rapidly rising interest rates and cost of living are now also causing financial distress in many households. Or in more households, not many. The cost of living rose 7.4% in the year to January, the second highest annual increase on record from the ABS. The Reserve Bank of Australia is expecting to raise interest rates when it meets on Tuesday, with economists largely predicting another 0.25% rate hike. Yeah, I'm going to prepare to do a video tomorrow. Maybe we'll live stream it. Probably not. It's in the afternoon, isn't it, with that rate coming? We'll look at that. But let's jump over here, guys. So, my take on this is we don't know if this is a significant change from trend, because we can't compare anything to the lockdowns. We had property prices. You can't compare them to the lockdowns because that was a mania. Financial stress, you can't compare it to the lockdowns because money was being given out left, right, and center. Sure, there were some people in financial stress for the first time, probably because they had to experience what Centrelink was like. So, yeah, until we know the trend, is this something we need to be concerned about? Is this a worrying sign? Or is this just, a tidbit that things are returning to normal? I would not be surprised, honestly, if normally here in Australia for the last 30 years, a fifth of us haven't had enough money for an emergency. That would not shock me at all. It's the Aussie way. Anyway, let me know your take on this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Check out my other channels, Heise BIM and Heise Does. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can on YouTube, Patreon, use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.